end of days, I live and die for the Horde!
Welcome back to the Heroes Global Championship in North America, where Gale Force Esports are sitting pretty 2-0 in their series over Superstars so far. Superstars not really doing some of the adjustments that we were hoping for, but Gale Force Esports seem like they have had their ideas for how this series will go this entire time.
Yeah, and I think really it's just Gale Force is doing Gale Force things so far. And Superstars is trying to do, their own interpretation of things and approach and flavor. But it's just, it hasn't worked out so far. So for them, I either want to see them play very standard or I want to see them play, I get weirder than just the Cho'Gall here and there and get a little bit weirder than, Zul'jin. I was critical of it, but I don't look at that as like a crazy strategy. I do think he's got a spot. So I want to see something off the walls.
Well, last series that Superstars played in, they did find themselves down 0-2 and ended up choosing the Battleground for the first time in the losers pick format. We'll see if they're going to do the same here.
Hopefully, because then we may get another Zul'jin and I stand a chance at not losing this bet.
I don't know. I guess it depends where we go. Gale Force Esports picked Towers of Doom and Braxis holdout, and they've chosen Cursed now too.
We saw Tassadar as the first pick last game. In game number 1, the first pick was, in fact, something that is eluding me on the top of my head.
Malfurion.
Malfurion by
Superstars.
Superstars. So they've gone with Malfurion, they've gone with Tassadar. I feel like this is the game where they put Faye on Artanis and just go,
Super melee.
Yeah, it's just, well, maybe not even so much super melee, but just at least putting Faye on the, catch somebody off, we can get a win with it's like, the stitches too. Get a swap, we have an opportunity to win the game. That might be what they go with here over some of the other draft options.
They have had a lot of warriors. In fact, every draft has had at least 2 warriors so far going into this series specifically. They're some of the heaviest melee focusers in drafting of all of the teams in HGC and A.
Okay, Superstars has the option. Again, I want to see a lot of flavor coming out from them, so I already want to see those changes with ban number 1, and that's going to be, I want to see a Tassadar ban from them. I think that would be, unless they're going to move into the Task Tracer or some Task hypercarry-oriented composition, it's going to be their safe bet, or it's going to be a Zeratul ban is something I'd really like to see from them.
They did ban Tassadar the one time that they played Cursed Hollow versus Team Freedom too, so it's not outside the realm of possibilities to see that ban for Superstars. But is there a problem with Gale Force Esports and their super global comps? I wondered if maybe they would want to ban something there and restrict it somewhat from Gale Force, but instead another ban on Artanis. Why are you looking at me from the side?
I'm trying to figure out what I want to say is the right or wrong thing to say, I guess, is more than anything. And when it comes to draft decisions, is I'm pretty confident that if Superstars doesn't first pick Zeratul, Gale Force will deny the Zeratul and just pick the global again, and we're going to run into almost an identical draft.
Right.
But first pick Zeratul is, not the best approach. So I'm trying to find, how do Superstars deal with it, or they just deny it? What do they do?
Here is my question. Why didn't they just pick any globals of their own?
That's a good question. Maybe if they reverse sweep this, I'll ask them myself. I'll go out. I'll do that for you, So Tassadar makes his way through, but the Tracer ban instead here for Gale Force to be able to, say, well, if you're going to first pick Tassadar, we don't need to be worried about the Tracer. I think this only helps Gale Force, this position into the draft. Superstars now have to decide, do they want Tass? Do they want Ragnaros? Do they want the Zeratul? Are they worried about that? Or are they going to, mix things up for real, more towards the false ad that they expect out of their opponents? Is it the Malfurion? I don't know what it is. I just hope it's different. That's all I'm looking for.
Before it was Brightwing and Zeratul, but it was when they had picked the map.
Zeratul false ad? Is it kicking it to the norm? Are they afraid of the Zeratul into the TAS? I don't know. I think Gale Force is obviously going to be moving with the fall. I just don't know where it goes elsewhere.
So yeah, it was Gale Force who picked Brightwing Zeratul in this position on Cursed. Actually haven't had any Cursed games from Superstars. I was looking at the wrong sheet. So their strategy for here is a little bit of a mystery to us. But again, this is a commonly chosen battleground for Gale Force Esports before. So in their preparation for this series, it had to be something that Superstars is keeping their eye on.
Gale Force is going in surprising amount of time into that pick order with the Zarya, with the Vala. But the fact that they banned the Tracer expecting a first pick Tassadar, and then they went almost all the way through their time pool. Just really interesting to see that out from them. Now, where is Superstars going to move into? They have the Tassadar. They don't have the Tracer, nor do they have the Vala. What do you expect? More melees? I need you to give me the answers.
Are they gonna Zul'jin here? That's the question that I'm going to ask.
Do it.
I would like to see a global of their own. No.
Thank you.
Words in my
Thank you
mouth.
very much for that. Because my bet would do rather well if I see a Zul'jin. So thank you very much.
You would win it. So yes,
Yeah.
it would do rather well. Unless there was another Zul'jin game after this, in which case, yay! I mean, neither of us
Not
would
because
win,
of the
so,
Zul'jin. Yeah,
just because
yeah.
you'd lose.
No, yeah.
I still think they should pick up a global here. Okay, Brightwing Tychus.
I like the Tychus. I was surprised. The Brightwing there, just 2, is going to be able to get the global, yes. If you're going to take a global, 100% of the time I would suggest the Falstad or the Dahaka, or even maybe, not the ETC so much. But
in this instance,
it works better because there's a shield.
Tassadar supplementing, so it's not as bad.
It's just mainly that Brightwing loses her 1v1s, right? Like a lot of the time. She just is there as like a placeholder rather than Falstad can take the initiative. But yeah, no, this is a scenario where I think the Taz Brightwing double support is going to be all right. Illidan is the ban out there. Fear of the hyper comp. Hyper carry comp? I don't know.
That's funny, since that's something that Gale Force would do.
Oh, yeah.
Is get Illidan with a hunt to add another global to their already insane global compositions. Who's Superstars ban here? Maybe a support. Malfurion's still up, so is Rhaegar. Maybe they do the same thing and they take out one of the global heroes.
I think that's
try to
safe.
have control here.
I think it's safe. If they banned out the Falstad, I think it would be a very good... It might not change the entire game, but you know, at least you know what you can expect, and it's not going to be that soaking. How do we force this fight? You know, are we going to let them choose every fight? You know, I just Gale Force would be, or excuse me, Superstars would be at least in a more comfortable position. They let it go through. Now Gale Force has the option to pick it up. I don't even think Gale Force has to. It's just more. Again, if Superstars is the underdog in this series, you should definitely be looking to anything you can to get your opponent off guard and then be able to come up with creative strategies yourself, I guess, to try and be able to get the win. But Superstars here with a more traditional comp. What are you thinking for GFE?
I still think that probably... do they get to Haka? I don't know if they've done too many triple melees.
I think with Zarya and ETC up, you 100% ETC. But maybe you could to Haka. I think like an ETC Falstad transition, or you pick up the support and leave your backliner is probably another safe route. So maybe even, I don't know. I think I would go ETC and then Malfurion. No, they go Falstad and then Diablo. Huh.
So waiting on Akaface's hero until the very end so they can flex depending on what these last 2 picks are for Superstars. You're pointing?
The last draft, they did the exact same thing. Never mind. It's you know, this is just a dread moment. But with the not leaving their last position to be a flex, it's the second time we've seen this in the series, where a team will pick both of the picks, forcing themselves into the last one where you know it can only be one role, which means it's just it's a small thing that eventually against international teams can really punish a group when you put it to that, because then they can force you into the wrong support and then things get really ugly really fast. You always need that flex.
But isn't it so that maybe they could leave it up? Say a Cho'Gall comes out at this very moment. You leave it so that you could have Karzim. Otherwise, you can go into Rhaegar probably. It's just more of a focus on which support is going to be best versus Superstars. Yeah, I'm not sure how that'll work out for them globally. Muradin and Zeratul are the final picks for Superstars.
Removing that Zeratul, you know, combo that Diablo Zeratul would provide for Gale Force Esports. So with Tracer, Illidan, Zeratul all removed, what hero do you expect to see Fan on?
A support, and it's going to be Aquaface.
Oh, I forgot that it's, yep, that's a good point. Forgot that. Who's he play out of those 4 then? Who'd you put, Zarya?
I'd probably put him on Zarya. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, what support is it going to be? I don't know how, after just talking about that, I forgot. But either way, I mean, Rhaegar, right?
Yeah.
Do you see an argument for anybody else?
If they want Ariovala, but
I mean, Malph
it's not
is
one
his
of those
thing.
big wave clear maps. Yeah, why? What? Malph is...
He's still up. I just realized
Wow.
neither one of them have been touched.
Huh.
Hello? You don't... There's...
Probably that.
Actually, I would take Rhaegar over Malfurion in this game.
And what's your reasoning for that?
Purely on, it's the only way we lose the game is if I don't have enough burst healing to save something out of the void. With the draft of my opponents compared to what I have with the self-sustain, the insane amount of frontline that I'm able to provide, everything that the tools needed, is the only way I feel like I can't win the game is if Diablo charges in, Void hits the back, and I don't have the tools to be able to keep him up. Trank can't do that. Twilight Dream won't be enough in my queue. So I would just take the Rhaegar and be like, you don't honestly need me. You just need to make sure that nobody dies. And Rhaegar can do that better than the Malfurion. But the fact neither of them was touched was insane.
I think maybe it's just so that they have some sort of follow-up, too, for Diablo, because so far there's nothing really to have follow-up to, so just add some crowd control there. But, yeah, I almost wondered if they would be so bold as to pick up Rhaegar and go for Bloodlust themselves.
I don't know. Maybe. We've seen more Bloodlust than I expected, at least so far. I was very surprised to see it really even kind of have any popularity, let alone for a while. I think it was all week 1. We saw more Bloodlust than we saw Ancestral, or not the case, actually? No, we saw mainly Ancestral throughout the whole wave. We've only seen 2 to 3.
But it was
Bloodlust.
Iacona. Oh, this is Gale Force, so that picked it up, so not so much.
Yeah.
I think it was Iacona a couple of the times, actually. So we had Bloodlust for Superstars. All right, we've seen both of the drafts. We know Superstars has to get this win, and every single one from here on out. Last-minute predictions. Who's going to take this game?
Gale Force Esports.
Okay, we're going into the game now. Cursed Hollow between Gale Force Esports and Superstars.
But Superstars really needs to win this because I need another Zul'jin.
Sorry, buddy. Not that Superstars won't be able to win it, just I don't know if we're going to see another Zul'jin. It seems like his jam is Brax's holdout.
Yeah, it's surprising that it is, but there's Zeratul, Brightwing composition, the Muradin. It's just everything that we see on the side of Superstars feels 4 months ago is what I feel that draft. That's how I feel about it. It's got a spot. All the heroes make a bit of sense, work together pretty well. It's just going to be really hard to run, I think, into the very forgiving composition on the side of Gale Force Esports. Even having the Malfurion there. On top of it, the combo. I agree with you when it goes to the follow-up that Malfurion can provide to the composition over the Rhaegar. A lot. Like, I blatantly just feel Malfurion is by far the best support in the game right now.
Yeah, he has a win rate to show it, too, to prove it.
And it's just sometimes when the rest of your 4-man is so freaking good, you know, I'd be willing to risk, you know, having the game without him because his biggest downfall still is going to be the lack of burst healing that he provides to a team.
As you can see, Malfurion also provides another added benefit of scouting drone to the team, and Goku had to take out that scouting drone before he could even start to engage the members of Gale Force Esports, which gave Gale Force even more time to siege down towers in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and Gale Force right now is in such a pretty spot that forward play is going to be used to teleport out. If Aquaface can get Fan right back up, the pressure here in this 1-1-3, Tassadar holds his own up in Diablo. Gale Force Esports, though, is going to have Muradin losing the mid lane to Falstad. And since bottom lane's winning, that's 2 out of 3 in favor of GFE already.
Well, Equinox could fall here. That'll be the first blood. That helps at least a little bit with the constant pressure from Superstars. But in this amount of time, we might see Superstars make some adjustments to their laning. Maybe so Muradin can come down and help in this bottom lane. Maybe a bit more and then have Brightwing. I don't know. Would you want to see them change up?
For Superstars?
Yeah.
Yeah. As best as possible. I would try and get Muradin and have Brightwing Tychus and Tassadar also, and just Muradin Zeratul roam as best I could. Look for picks whenever possible, even if that means just applying more pressure to the bottom lane where the 3-man is, that's fine. But either way, how they're doing it right now, they're getting 0 value out of the Falstad. And on the top lane, Tassadar isn't beating Diablo hard enough to really justify. And Gale Force should be winning the mid lane, the Falstad into Murden matchup. It just, anytime you have Zeratul and you aren't getting any roam pressure out of him, you're pretty much are wishing you had a different hero at that point in time.
Superstars at least has some Giants, so now they can hope that along with having Brightwing in the bottom lane, she and the Giants can push in the bottom wall. A Tribute will spawn in the top, but it's just random where it's going to spawn. They're hoping they can get that. No rotations yet from Gale Force to get their own Giants. Instead, maybe looking to get a kill here in the mid lane, but Goku and Trey are both hanging out here. Even going to jump in, use Vorpal Blade again, taking down Equinox, but Goku takes enough damage, and the shielding from Equinox is good that there's going to be no kill just yet for Superstars.
Yeah, and I think this early game, though, even the amount of pressure applied to Equinox makes me, oh, man. End up getting the vault and the kill there over the wall. It makes me very afraid, I guess, of, again, the healing problem and conundrum that exists on the side of GFE into the Void. Just that early game that Zeratul's putting that much pressure. Post 10, I think things could get a lot scarier. As we say that, though, the engage on to Fan. He's already burned the vault. He ends up going down. Icona now on the retreat. The nade not going to land. Icona lives to see another day. Falstad has remained in the bottom lane, though. Stun comes out. And it looks like the channel's going to be initiated. Goku has to be careful because Icona can't really heal that up very well.
Yeah, I'm scared for those grenades, especially since they are max energy. Here comes a grenade too. Goku once again dodges it. The zoning still staying true for Superstars. Crowan starting to move around from the other side. Throws out Fire Stop, but it's just barely far enough away that he can't hit Goku. Goku gets the first Tribute, but a long time was spent for that. Michael Yudo is putting free pressure on the fort in the bottom lane thanks to that earlier three-man push from Gale Force Esports.
This is the same thing Gale Force Esports has done every single time on Cursed Hollow. They keep everybody in their lanes. Next time this happens, I just want to see Superstars commit Zeratul and Murden to get a kill. Like, just directly onto the global. Like, I'm just amazed that Gale Force can do the exact same thing every single time, and no team has just been like, why don't we just kill them? Or get a counter onto what they're doing. This just, the predictability is almost never really a good thing, especially when it survives that long. Sray in a tough spot, Dwarf tossing the wrong direction. Barrel Roll is not going to be able to channel the W continuously, but the stun Crone there with the almost style points and confirming that kill. Tribute's going to spawn, but a man down. Superstars really can't do much. They need to apply pressure to top, and it looks like that's going to be the choice they make. Falstad is not going to rotate top and match them. Instead, they're all going to commit to bottom. Now Gale Force doing the exact opposite of what they know. Well, I'm so confused.
There were 3 people pressuring the mid lane, but yeah, Falstad coming in, nobody helping against the top lane. They're just trying to trade out damage on towers, which is keeping Gale Force even in experience. They get both the towers. They're sort of opening up too for once they can get a curse and all the forts will be exposed, but Superstars take 2 towers down of their own accord, starting to work on fort. They need to move back, though. All the members of Gale Force Esports are coming in. Looks like Icon is going to be the one to stop. Rooted, but FaZe shifts out just in the nick of time. I
thought he was so dead.
So did I.
Man.
And then the death notification didn't come up.
Yeah, and you're like, okay. I didn't think he had that in time, but very well done. Icon is going to be able to make the great escape. Tribute spawning on the bottom half. Skirmish 3v3 onto the top. Hosey there getting a couple of stacks maybe onto his level 4 there. Sray is in a tough spot. Fan loves using that mobility with that 10 hatred. So good abuse on top of it. The channel is going to be started here by Crowan. 10 is in even reach for both teams, but positionally, Superstars can get them in the lane one more time. Good zone onto Sray. Gale Force is going to be able to pick this up just purely on the health bars right now on the side of Superstars.
Yeah, health bars, it's also a scary position to run in for Superstars. And one wrong move, one kill for Gale Force Esports, and that could be 10 and a whole lot more. So Superstars playing that one out safely. Don't mind that at all so that they can look toward the next Tribute. It does put them down 1. They have to get the next one, but they'll have heroic abilities, aren't down at all. I did want to point out to you, by the way, with his victory in the last game, playing Vala 2, Fam's now 4 for 4 games on Vala.
Yeah, he plays it very well. He's constantly applying pressure.
And his flanks with Strafe are amazing.
Yeah, he's very good at executing when he needs to apply pressure and when he doesn't. And it seems to be a little bit more calculated than some of the other players in North America, even though Fan typically is known for his melee play. When it comes to Heroics, Strafe, Expulsion, Twilight, Gust, and APOC. On the other side there is going to be Odin, Avatar, Tastar's Force Wall. Obviously it's Icona, so he's going to hold off. And then we have the Void Prison. So, this is going to be the spawn here. Gale Force one away from being able to pick up the Curse. Giants pressuring for both sides. Faye's going to start the channel. It's going to be interrupted there. Udall end up having to use the barrel roll out. Apocalypse still not used. There's going to be the polymorph onto him. A reasonable amount of harass going in. Cleanse used as well. Superstars is in a pretty good spot to complete this fight, except for Goku getting caught out.
Yeah, and there is a lot of poke again from Gale Force Esports. Fan chucks in a Hungering Arrow, just trying to stop. Equinox still has a lot of grenades that he could use too for this poke pressure, but once again, good zoning from Superstars throughout, and Goku's way in the back lane, going for a 1v1 with Michael Udall. Mike barrel rolls away from him into his base, but has to come all the way back around, slowly flying in.
But suddenly the health bars have kind of, turned around here as Akaface has been able to heal everybody up. Now the zoning is going to happen. Throw-in goes in. There's going to be the pin, the combo, the flip over. A 3-man Void is used to save. Posty here is in his Odin. Apocalypse has not been used yet. He's going to hold on to that for now. Sray in there 1 versus 5 at this point. There's going to be the stun against the wall. Goku goes in for the Ras. He blinks out, and suddenly there's going to be APOC used, but it cost him his life, and Goku survives in the 1v1 versus Udall.
Posty's Odin is done now, but he's going to run and gun up to get another kill on Zarya. That's a second kill for Superstars, and that will have to be the end of Gale Force Esports trying to get their first curse. Iacona grabs the tribute, and Superstars, with that positioning, can go ahead and pick up a boss to boot.
How many times have we seen Krillin be able to play the Diablo so far? Only once, I believe.
Yeah, the first time was for sure last week. I just don't know if it was once or twice.
I think it was only once, and just the hesitation on using APOC there until he was dead. I can't help but, again, feel like it was a little uncomfortable on understanding what he wanted to do, what he wanted to make happen. But he has, again, been probably one of the more impressive players when it comes to playing the Warrior for Gale Force Esports. Goku is going to be able to sniff this out, but nobody is going to make that transition in time. Both the teams get their respective boss. Tributes sit 2-2, and the tribute positioning spawns heavily in favor of Superstars. Gale Force Esports need to make something happen in 33 seconds before APOC is even up, while only 15 for Void.
A little bit of a bonus for Superstars too is that Brightwing's pushing along with the boss. 4 Superstars in top. All of the members of Gale Force Esports are heading straight to the tribute point. Brightwings will start to phase shift in pretty soon. Heroic abilities, Void Prison's online. There goes Odin being dropped. 2 Superstars say it is time to fight. Starting to throw down damage. Apocalypse will be here in just a few seconds. Goku jumps in, doesn't find a spot that he wants to Void Prison, and it pushes Gale Force Esports all the way through the funnel. This positioning is so hard to try to get a tribute when you are not the defensive team here. Here comes Iacona 2 to help out. They're trying to maybe wait as long as they can so that they don't have to engage into the Odin, but on the back, Goku's found a nice Void Prison. Here come the rest of the members of Superstars. They have trapped all of Gale Force Esports on the other side. Apocalypse goes down too. Krone might be in trouble, Dread. Yeah,
Akaface now is on the retreat. Stray has a stun up in a couple of seconds here as he goes in straight over the wall. Is hitting a lot of damage onto Superstars, but it ends up costing Zarya her life. Now Mike Udall throws out the Q, not going to get enough damage, and Superstars looks like they're going to back out, pick up this very first curse of the game. Very well done from Superstars, showing that they, Goku right now is the MVP of this match. He's been taking 1v1s onto the backline all day and trading up for his team, getting good voids, and not doing it just to save himself, but to be able to set up the rest of the team to try and make a play afterwards, and just waiting for Krone to really make the mistake. They look like a different team in this game from what we saw in 1 and 2.
They're not behind. They're not behind. They've stayed even with Gale Force Esports, but something you and I have talked about quite a bit about Superstars is how do they start to correct this passivity that we see, this worry about any time that they're behind. And we felt like it comes down to Goku. He's the one who has to add aggression to the team and pull, kicking and screaming maybe, the rest of Superstars into being willing to take engagements even when they're down. And that Void Prison and then the wrap around from Superstars to put Gale Force in a terrible position, splitting them. They're away from their base. They have all of the red team, Superstars between them. Was a great play from Superstars and a great start in being able to come back in the series.
And it's managed to be able to clean up all the forts here, and they're going to be able to back out, get their Knights. They have 16 talent tier advantage. Everything is looking good for Superstars for the first time in this series. The question is, can they close it out? And honestly, it's looking like it, at least when it comes to the team fight so far. Crowan has to be the initiator in using, Apocalypse with the engage. We saw the attempt there onto Iacona, and Iacona just goes, I'm going to blink heal right out of this. Thanks. And, it just, again, it comes down to whoever gets onto the Warrior for Gale Force Esports is really feels to be the make or the break of the team. It's not even a specific player. It's just, are they the most comfortable on whatever, whoever's in the front line. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. And right now it looks like I would be leaning a little bit towards no.
Crowan's ETC seems to be probably the best for him. His Murden's good too, though.
But even then, I agree with you. He had a very impressive showing on his Murden and his ETC.
Yeah.
But even in the last game, we saw, the no-man mosh pits were used as well. So actually, was that? I don't even think that was him. That was my bad. He wasn't on the ETC. But either way, it's just that he has gotten caught out quite frequently into his play, and it's just a constant focal point. If I'm playing against Gale Force, it just would be like, focus on bullying their melee, whoever it is, because they seem so uncomfortable.
Bullying the melee and throwing them off their groove.
Yeah.
Seem to be the ways to stop Gale Force Esports. Superstars has sort of done that here the first time. They at least have gotten a level lead, but it's not in a situation where they're so far ahead. Gale Force Esports only needs one more tribute to get a curse of their own and nullify the damage that have been done, and no keeps have been taken out just yet for Superstars. So Gale Force are about to be on the same talent tier. Bosses will be up here pretty soon too for both teams.
Superstars is in a tough spot now that their opponents managed to be able to pick up 16 and is going to be threatening that tribute here. It is a huge momentum swing opportunity for Gale Force if they even win one team fight, especially depending on the timing on bosses. It looks like Superstars, though, is going to be starting theirs the second that it spawns. I don't think Gale Force is going to be able to scout it out in time. They want to. I just don't think I think the damage is there.
It's only halfway done. Expulsion zone.
Oh, this is scary.
Ray's trying to slow people down. There's a force wall too. Here goes Michael Udall.
Oh,
Mike's looking for the Gus. Void Prison off the back. Gus pushes all of the members of Superstars into the spot. Dwarf toss in. Ray looking for another kill. Stormbolt follow up. And Superstars walks away with their boss.
And they're going to be able to walk away down to bottom, be able to pick up this tribute and start the secondary boss. Gale Force is not, they are looking to defend. You saw it for a moment. They were questioning what they were going to do. But in fact, this will be another tribute and should be a boss already started here. The fact that Gale Force hasn't shown is making Superstars patient. Oh my.
Man, Superstars or Gale Force are moving around quite a lot. It took a while to figure out what they wanted to do.
Yeah, they have no idea the situation that they want, and they instantly initiate there. Sray goes in. Falset's still yet to be able to join the fight. Expulsion Zone used. Twilight Dream as well. They end up getting the pick there. Sray in that 1 versus 4. The top keep ends up falling in the process, and the boss will be converted. But yeah, very much Gale Force, you could tell with their decision making, I was so confused for a second where they're going to end up going, and it worked out for them.
It did, but that was mostly due, I think, to Sray dwarf tossing into a whole lot of Gale Force. Lockdown, Twilight Dream, Expulsion Zone was excellent too to zone the rest of the team away. I thought maybe he thought he had heavy impact because he just full dwarf toss on a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, it was. It's the second one where he's kind of just instantly gone in there, but the zoning tool to be able to keep the rest of the Superstars away was enough here for Gale Force Esports. They go and pick up, Superstars pick up Gale Force's Giants. The tribute spawns on the top half. Brightwing can pick that up. It might leave Falstad into the 1v1. I love the fact that Goku's staying here just in case Mike Udall decides that he wants to fly in, try and take the 1v1. He will end up losing his life and going to be able to back out. So very good position here to be Superstars. As the channel is going to be confirmed, and expect the teleports to come into play soon. There it is.
Yeah, Superstars played that well that they still got the tribute too, because this looked to be a boss potentially plus a curse. But Gale Force wanted to push along with the boss, man. That was a boss stun that hit Stray for a lot of damage. He has to go into Avatar, fan strafing in the backline too. A lot of heroic abilities have been used. There's a Void Prison in the back. Stray can dwarf toss away. That Void Prison, again, so good from Goku, helps make sure that Stray lives through the focus from Crowan.
Yeah, and now Gale Force kind of taking a minute to back up there as Hosey gets the dismount. Heal coming out onto Crowan. You can tell that they want this. They just don't know when or how. This is such a sketchy spot for Superstars.
Apocalypse.
Oh, all right. So there was the Gus and Apocalypse used. Cleanse is going to be used as well. Goku ends up teleporting out and getting the harass, splitting them once more. If he gets the re-stealth, he's going to go on. Akaface is under a lot of pressure from Stray as well.
Oh, Crowan dives to the back line, takes out Muradin. So it's a 1-for-0 so far, but Mike Rito might be in trouble. Goku confirms the kill. It's a 1-for-1, and look at the rest of the health bars for Gale Force Esports.
Goku's flanking from above. No, he's not going to. He's going to come back right through here. Gale Force goes in. There's going to be the split. Ice block. The Bolt, or excuse me, not the Bolt, but the Blink Heal. The confirmed kill. Twilight Dream is used. 1-2. Fan is now on the retreat, and that is a cursed opportunity here. Equinox is the only one left alive. 3 members dead. This is the skirmish of the century.
This fight is insane. Equinox is not getting out of here alive. Goku makes sure of that. There is a tribute up. Crowan's not in a place, even though he spawned, to do anything about it. And Superstars took 1 curse. We were concerned that maybe Gale Force Esports would be able to bring it back around, especially with not having any sort of 16 advantage for Superstars, but that's going to be a 2nd curse for Superstars and Storm Talents. And
not only that, they have a man advantage for that 20 to 30 seconds here. What they can make happen with it is really the question. Top keep's already going to be going down, so pressure through mid and bottom should be the main focus here. Bosses don't end up spawning for another 50 seconds on the top. The other one was captured significantly later than that, so we got a while for that type of play. So Superstars can transition directly out of this curse into a boss. The exact second the curse stops, the top boss does spawn. So we'll see what they make happen with this 20, and then I expect them to transition back out considering the boss. But I mean, Gale Force has boss control over them, and if Gale Force gets 20, they'll be looking to stop that. That could be a risky choice for Superstars. But for now, their eyes are on mid-keep.
Gale Force will have to stop that boss because there's no keep left to be able to defend it. Goku's in the back, goes up to Finn. Fan, a lot of harass. Stray's now in the back line too. It's 4v1 with Stray in the back. Hosty's trying to come in to help out. He has big red button, and Stray gets another Torque Toss back. That's a Void Prison only on 1, and Zeratul pays dearly for it. Expulsion Zone and Diablo secure the deal, take out Zeratul, and the rest of Superstars have to back up.
Yeah, to be able to keep his team alive, Goku going in there with the Void ended up costing him his own. I mean, Stray's positioning? I feel like somebody's got to say something at this point. It's very
1v4.
Yeah, every time. And it's just surprising to see coming out from him for being a warrior player for so long. We do see that they're going to take out mid-keep and threaten towards core, knowing their opponents are on a boss. So we're about to experience a relatively tense moment. There's no way they commit to this, right? They wait till they back.
Okay, there's
they
the back.
back out. The problem is that there's a thing called Gust in 4 seconds. Like, they're going to fly all over this on mid, right? There's no way you let them go. Mikey Doll goes, yip, yip, and they just go.
He has Epic Mount, too.
Hello?
Here it is.
There it is.
Flight, Gust.
And everything suddenly looks like...
Nope, that was just Hellgate. All right, here comes the fight again. Fans way in the back, trying to hit as many people as he can with the Stray. Twilight Dream was used as well. Somehow, some way, Superstars have made it out of this so far.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
All right, so now Zeratul's actually alive, waiting for somebody to make a mistake. Void Prison's up in 10 seconds. He's actually going to flank. Akaface, no, don't isolate yourself, dude. If a tree dies in the woods, somebody knows about it. I promise you.
No Dwarf Toss. Muradin's down. So 1 kill, 1 boss. Can Gale Force end it here? That's the real question.
I don't think so. With Gus 15 seconds away and Void available, except for an Odin, like that might be enough. He's going to be able to dash out. Apocalypse was used. Yeah, there's no way. A keep is the most optimistic. I don't know. Man, everybody's heroics here just going to be used left and right. Hosty's going to be pinned. The keep is going down. The nuke ends up getting a lot of value there coming out from, you know, big red button. Tribute has spawned down bottom, which would be a curse for Gale Force Esports.
Oh, Hosty dives in. Fan is right there with him. Here comes the flight. Epic Mount. Fall stats here.
He's going to lose this. Goku's got rewind. See you, nerd. There's no way. Okay, now Volpal.
Here comes Icon.
Now rewind. Oh, he missed the W! Oh!
That doesn't Polymorph. Polyslow. He's got him.
He missed the W.
No!
Goku missed the love you. No. Okay. All right. So now we have a moment. 3 catapults are on mid. Goku is obviously not in the right area for his team. Curse is going to be picked up.
Icona has nobody to blink heal to.
Superstars is going to backdoor or something. They have to find something to blink heal. Oh, Fan! Oh, so much harass! Goku blinks out! Fan survives! Icona goes down! Oh, what just happened? Now the root. Hosey is in a tough spot. We do have a pop.
Stray finds Crow and he's going in. He's giving him the axe to Dwarf kill.
Oh, he goes in! Oh, what is happening? Oh my! The 1-for-1. It's like, I don't know why I keep being surprised. Every week there's just that one game where I feel like I learned a whole plethora of things that I never knew existed before. And every time it happens, I'm like, how did we end up here? Ice Block Force, that actually could come back to haunt Aka face. The boss is going to be started. The curse is in pursuit. The biggest advantage is Superstars has 16 seconds before their dead person spawns, but more than anything, it's a global.
Yes.
So it can make the transition smoothly. Top boss spawn timer here is going to be quite a ways away in the fact that it is a 2 minutes off. So bottom boss, the only threat to look for now. 2 keeps to 2 keeps. You know, before this game started, I didn't think we really had a game on our hands, but I was very much wrong. Goku here on that Zeratol, making some plays.
Goku status confirmed. He is the clear MVP here. Is fun. Although he did miss his W, still showing us the plays here.
I didn't see it, you know.
One. I think you yelled it.
In fact, was the person yelling it. Yep. No, I may have been lying. You're right.
All right. Gale Force, like we said before, have a lot of control over this boss point. So they're starting to whittle it down as best as they can.
There is an option for Superstars to like just go core at some point and risk with their Void. If there's any minion harass, but because all the mid and top waves are so pushed far out, excuse me. Saray now, that's going to force a bolt on Aka face. Goku is there, maybe going over the wall for harass. It's going to be the bolt as well from Crowin. But Odin was used, same with the Avatar. If
Superstars move into this choke point, that is potential for a gigantic apocalypse. They won't take the bait through the choke. Superstars are more than happy, very comfortable with the fact that they have again stalled out Gale Force from getting this boss from bottom. But Odin was used there, and so was Avatar.
You know, we are in North American Heroes of the Storm, which means, in fact, the battle has never ended. We will throw bodies on top of bodies until we can make something happen here. Over this boss. Again, look at Goku in the top left. He could flank. Very good positioning. Faye obviously has solid eyes on what's happening. Brightwing's back for the clear.
Goku's getting way separated. Force wall hits. Equinox can start taking some damage.
Expulsion
Zone's pushing Iacona out. He gets blown up just like that. Brightwing is down. Michael Udall has a gust. The Void Prison hits the back, and it's got 3 members. If they can take down Fan, it'll make it a 1-for-1. Dwarf tosses in. All right, the 1v1s continue, 1-for-1s.
But it was support for a non-support, so unless Aka face dies soon, there's going to be way more health bars. Saray instantly gets removed here. The top boss has now managed to spawn. Both bosses are a lethal opportunity for either team. We do see Goku maybe scouted out there, but everybody's going to stay up bottom worried about this boss. Gus is not up for 34 seconds. Goku scouts it out. There's going to be the drone, the flip, the combo instantly removed here. Hosey pops the Odin. Big red button. They're so worried about this boss. Gus is going to be up in 23 seconds. Hosey eating a lot of harass. Expulsion zone is going to be used. Crowin is going to give him a little help, but Mikey Doll's there to be able to secure this kill. And suddenly,
Faye is left.
Suddenly Faye is the, last man standing.
Gale Force Esports playing that incredibly patiently at the end around the boss.
Yeah.
Knowing that they're the ones with the good control with Expulsion Zone, with Gust too, so if they can force Superstars to panic around that point. Going in once Void Prison was down. There was one thing when Void Prison was still an option, but now that it's down, only Faye and Iacona are left to defend their keep. And Gale Force Esports take out game 1 quickly, take out game 2 quickly too, but have to fight tooth and nail to be able to take down game number 3, but they will do so and get a 3-0 victory over Superstars.
Gale Force Esports stuck to what they knew best. They played it relatively well. We saw Superstars, you know, they had moments where you could see they were trying to come up with something, especially in that last game. They didn't end up ever really like finding it, but expected result, I think, is how I would view what we just saw. Maybe not as convincing as I had hoped for from Gale Force Esports before going into the series, but overall, I mean, you know, another day is really how I think I view this, at least for Gale Force Esports.
And it's important for Gale Force for a couple of reasons. First of all, like we mentioned, those two teams were in the third place position. And whereas we still have a lot of series to go here in NAHGC, it's good to know that they are ahead. They've beaten somebody who was a potential to have a tiebreaker or tie with, looking at the standings. But also just for Gale Force Esports to go into their next series versus Team 8, a scary competitor with a 3-0 victory over Superstars. That nice momentum straight into that series on Sunday. Yeah,
it's going to be able to help the mentality for sure, but I can't help but feel like after seeing the series with Gale Force, they really are going to have to clean up some stuff. Otherwise, I do think that teammate will really be able to bring solid games to them and maybe even beat them.
What kind of things do you think that they need to work on first? What's your number one thing for Gale Force Esports?
Oh, man. I don't know if I would pinpoint one thing specifically. Like, I guess it would be when things aren't working, like they come up with that game plan, like with the split soaking and everything else, and when those things aren't working out so well, that not everything falls apart. It seems to be very communication, decision-making, like that boss rotation where they were like, do we defend top boss? No, we got to go to tribute and worry about the other boss. And then they bought like 10 seconds, like that kind of stuff should almost never happen. Even if it's the wrong choice, it should be quick, should be efficient. And then I think that there would be a lot more play potential if they cleaned that up.
I think we're about to hear from Michael Udall about their victory over Superstars, but Superstars now going 2-2. Not out of this yet, but they have a lot of competitors ahead. Hopefully we'll continue to get to see their improvement, their development. But I think we are ready. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome. Hey, so congratulations on your victory over Superstars. That last game got just a little crazy. Let me know where exactly you guys finally felt like you had the victory in that Cursed Hollow game.
I mean, when Crow and Bull APOC comboed Iacona, I don't know, that game was really close, like well fought by Superstars. They played really well. I mean, the first two games, I think we were a lot more in control and dominant the whole way through, but the third game, they really played well with their draft, and it was a lot harder than the other two games.
It was, and you guys definitely had a couple of moments, though, when your rotations seemed to be, you know, questioning what was the right decision, what was the wrong decision overall. And it's like, do you guys... I guess with the adding of Equinox and everything to the roster, and the communication has been obviously a huge focal point for you guys. Do you think that you've cleaned it up enough, or do you know, have some plans to be able to make those adjustments for future series, for instance, against Team 8?
I mean, I think our biggest thing is improving every single day. So, I mean, I want to play better next week than I did play this week. I want to play better against Team 8 than we played against Superstars. So, yes, there's a lot of improvement that we need to make with synergy and communications, because like Fan was kind of like recent. Like we haven't played in that many tournaments with them, right? We played one online and then one at PAX. So it's like Fan and Equinox, we're all still trying to find that. I feel like we found the synergy. We're just trying to improve it and get it more like no hesitation, just like what you said. It's like I call something, Fan calls something, or like I call something, Equinox calls something, or Equinox Fan calls something, and like split and getting to the point where it's just the same thing. I mean, I'm really confident going forward that we will be able to get that down.
Mike, when we talked to your team, we kept hearing about this idea of 4 flexes and a support. Do you guys still feel like that is one of your strong points, that you are continuing with that? And have there been any adjustments made to that since you've started playing in HGC?
Yeah, I mean, I still love the 4 flexes, 1 support idea. What we are doing is each flex is a little more specialized. It's something we've done. So like last week, you saw me playing tank. Like that's something that going forward, like Crone's our second tank player, right? It makes it easier, so I don't have to learn like every single hero. It's just like we all flex really hard, but it's like we still have like specializations, because like most games, like I won't need to play a tank type thing.
Great. Well, any further questions, Jared, that you have?
No.
Great. Congratulations, Mike. Do you have any shout outs before we go?
Yeah, thank you guys. First off, shout out to our sponsors, Gunner, Twitch. Shout out to Gale Force. Shout out to all our fans. Seriously, you guys are so amazing. Check out our Twitches. Twitch.tv/Michael Udall, Twitch.tv/Crowan, Twitch.tv/StarCraft2 Fan TV, and Twitch.tv/Equinox Hots. Whew.
Dang, you deserve a medal from your team for that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, congrats. Good luck versus Teammate on Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you.
Always good to hear from him.
Yeah, he's a little too easy to talk to at times. You know, he's very easy to get in the flow of conversation and everything with. So, no surprise there. But Mikey Dahl, you know, the fact that he remembered everybody on his team, his Twitches though, that's something I don't know if I could have done. That deserves an award.
Maybe new MVP for that series.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now that Gale Force Esports has clinched out this very important victory, let's check in with the updated standings here in North America yet again. Gale Force Esports 3-1 now over Superstars with a 2-2. And from earlier today, B-Step gets a first victory 1-3, while No Tomorrow falls down 0-4. But we have so many more series this weekend, and two that could very well be, and I'm sure will be, fantastic tomorrow. Team Naventic versus Team Freedom, who also again have tied standings. And then the big one, Tempo Storm versus Team AIM.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be amazing, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Like, looking at both of those, Freedom managing to be able to get the upset over Gale Force Esports, the Dark Horse team versus, you know, the long-standing in Naventic, who the fact that they're dead even when it comes to scores, and then we have number 1 versus number 2. I mean, it doesn't get much better.
Let's take a look once again at the schedule for tomorrow, so we can see what is happening around the world. First off, Synergy versus Misfits. And Team Dignitas versus Team Expert, the match that everybody has had on their minds for Europe. Could Expert finally take out Team Dignitas and get into the top 3? You guys have to tune into that one. Also, Team Freedom versus Team Naventic. These guys are scrim partners. There's a lot of respect between the teams. And with Freedom taking out Gale Force Esports, there's a potential for an upset over Naventic. Finally, Tempo Storm versus Team 8. Same situation as Dignitas Expert. Tomorrow is going to be an awesome day for Heroes of the Storm.
It might be the best that we've had yet. When looking at the European lineup, now ours, that's what I was like, for Dignitas versus Expert, the fact that they were going to be able to have that going on, very awesome. And then obviously the number 1 and number 2 being able to go head-to-head in North America.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Let's make sure that we get some rest so that you guys can head back and watch it. But if you missed any of the games today, go on over to our website, heroesthestorm.com/esports to check out the VODs. Until tomorrow, we will see you guys
In the Nexus.
On our day, we are definitely the strongest team in Europe.
We managed to beat Dignitas. It would give us a lot of confidence.
ADRD is the centerpiece of that team.
I think Baker's proven to be the most consistent and probably best support in Europe.
Going up against Team Expert, I feel pretty confident.
Our rival is Fnatic.
Fnatic proved that they are the best team in Europe.
They have a shot to take one of the top 3 positions in EU.
Strong players overall, and you should never underestimate them. 2016 was good for Misfits, but I think we can improve.
They have a crazy playstyle, they play very aggressive.
We want to get our revenge and perform on the world stage.